are some conditions where you need very little fat in the diet, and one such disease is a rare disease called familial chylomicronemia syndrome, where we ask the patients to eat very little fat, but at the same time we want them to understand it's important to optimize nutrient intake. So we pay attention to essential fatty acids, we pay attention to micronutrient intakes, because when you're on a low fat diet, there are certain nutrients that are fat soluble, like fat soluble vitamins. We have to make sure the patient is getting all those nutrients in order to prevent other complications. So and at the same time, we have to understand it's a very challenging diet. It's very hard to eat very little fat when we are in a high fat environment, and it's so easy to get a packet of cookies and muffins that are loaded with fat, and it's you have to the patient has to pay a lot of attention to the fat intake, because they can end up with a horrible condition called pancreatitis, and at the same time, if they eat too much fat on a daily basis, they have abdominal pain, they get nauseous, and it affects the quality of life. So we have to, as healthcare providers, we need to get patients to participate in their meal planning and what works for them. If they can put a little bit more time on the weekend to do grocery shopping, to plan what they would enjoy eating without any fat added to it. The only oil that they can use is a medical food called MCT oil, which is medium chain triglycerides. It comprises of two fatty acids, caprylic and capric, and these have carbon chain lengths of 8 and 10, and these are the only fatty acids that can be used in food preparation or adding to salads. So these fatty acids come from coconut oil, but you should not consume coconut oil, because coconut oil has other fatty acids that are harmful to a patient who has the familial chylomicronemia syndrome. So there's only one company that makes it in the United States, Nestle, and it can be obtained through prescription through the doctor. So this can, and the only when you're using MCT oil, it's important to understand that it's not a frying oil. It has to be used at low temperatures. So it's best when you, say, prepare a stew with vegetables and beans, a tomato based or with vegetable broths. You can add the oil after you prepare it, so you're not cooking the oil at high temperatures.